dude. Let's see something, dude. Yeah. Oh! Oh, there she is. Go for a oh! Dude! Oh, it's a beautiful day. Damn. Got the roomie brewing up a little batch here. What kind of flavor is this gonna be, bro?
We're gonna do a chocolate coffee, a mocha Schwartz beer.
Oh shit, a coffee mocha beer. That sounds fucking delicious. Wait, so hold on. So can you like how much beer is this good for? Like, is this gonna be the beer itself?
6.5 gallons of beer is how much we're gonna make.
Damn, 6.5 gallons, dude. Are we gonna have plenty of samples?
Fuck yeah, we got plenty of samples. We got the honey lager, the dry hop honey lager in the fermentation chamber right now.
Damn.
Another 6 gallons of. This is our bittering edition. So
the bittering edition.
Some Howardtown hops into our Schwartz beer right here.
Okay. How do you know how much to put in there, dude?
I use Beersmith. It's a software that I use to tell me how much bitterness I'm gonna get from how much hops I use.
Okay. Wait, why do you have to like have it heated up?
So when you boil the hops that are the hops contain alpha and beta acids that isomerize.
All right.
And they preserve the beer. They're antioxidant, antibacterial, and they impart, of course, the bittering characteristics that you get in the taste of the beer.
That's crazy.
Even something that's like really bitter isn't necessarily going to be, or has a lot of bitterness isn't necessarily going to taste bitter. Because it balances out the maltiness that you get from the complex sugars left in the grain.
Damn, dude. That's what's Gucci today, folks. We got a absolutely gorgeous day. I can finally not freeze my cock off. I'm so stoked. I got a Corona in hand. I'm not working today or tomorrow. Got both days off back to back. You gotta be friggin' joshing me, dude. Wow. Oh my god, the sunlight is beating down. I might catch me a little tan today, bro. Damn. All right. Well, it's a little muddy out, so that's the only deal. But other than that, I mean, I'm gonna finish up my intercooler piping. I'm gonna clamp everything down. Went to Old Harbor Freight. Went to Lowe's. Actually, I was working. Shout out to you, Madison, for taking the trip over there and grabbing some supplies for me. But I got a plumber coupler. So I guess it's for a fucking toilet or something. I don't know. But it goes from a 2-inch to a 3-inch. So the intake part of the turbo, the part that goes into the intercooler, it's a 2-inch diameter, and the actual intercooler piping is 3-inch. So I was gonna order one online, but honestly, it's pretty thick rubber, and I think it's gonna work out just fine. Yeah, as you could see, when I initially hit it with the grinder, I got all these little burrs and lips, and I am not, yeah, see, I don't want a piece of this going into my motor. So, we'll keep going. Alright, so the cold side is all hooked up and clamped down, so I'm really happy with that. I had to, this is my wastegate actuator, I had to actually weld this little bracket here because the way that it was set up before, it wouldn't angle right to get onto that wastegate. So this is not the actual turbo. I'm gonna just a hair over 200. Alright, so I did happen to make a pretty decent amount of progress here. This is the actual turbo that I will be running. So this is my brand new 55mm eBay turbo journal bearing. And I already have my oil feed line here, and it's hooked into a sandwich plate that's in the oil filter. I'll show you that in a second. But as you can see, I re-welded my actuator and it came out pretty good there. So that's sitting the way it needs to be. I just need to run a vacuum hose from the actuator there to, where is it? You might be able to see it there. There it is. To that little fitting right there on the intake side of the turbo. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. I also got my down pipe, and that's not tightened down yet. I'm just kind of using it for clearance. So that's working out over there. The actual sandwich plate and oil feed line is right there. That's the sandwich plate right there. So the line's running from that up into the up to the oil feed of the turbo. My oil return line is hooked up as well. That's right here. I do need to weld a bung onto my oil pans. All right, so I have my oil pan out. Unfortunately, I'm out of brake cleaner, which sucks. So I was using some lacquer thinner to clean it a little bit, get some of the oil out. But basically, so I have the bung for the oil return line for the turbo. This is the bung that I need to weld. I'm thinking probably going to be somewhere around there, is my guess. I want to have it low enough where I can weld on the outside and from the inside. So I guess first things first, I need to drill this out. Alright, so my hole is made. I started out with the small little drill bit. This is titanium, I forget what size, it's just a small one. And then I finished it off with a step bit, like that. And I got it to be the perfect size for the bung. Where is that thing? There it is. So, as you can see, yeah, I'm gonna weld it like that. I'm gonna weld it like that from the inside. So next what I gotta do is take the grinder and make that surface there all prepped up for welding. Yeah, so I tried welding that thing in there and it didn't really work out. So I actually bought another pan, and then I used this fitting right here. And I have a nut on the other side of it, tons of thread locker, and I threaded it into the pan and into the nut, and then I have some gaskets holding that in there. So I'm hoping that's gonna work. It's now my return line doesn't quite fit, so I'm just gonna use this this little addition here, and hopefully I can make that work. Oh, it is looking, I mean, it's not super professional. I'd say like 8 out of 10 out of what I was hoping for, but I think it's gonna hold just fine. This right here is a heater hose, so it stands up to really hot antifreeze. I hope it will stand up to the oil. I will keep a close eye on it. And I did this kind of looping deal right here because I plan on running the exhaust right through it. I'm gonna have the exhaust running down. I want to thread the needle in this valley right here where the oil pan is. But everything on this oil return line is super tight. I'm stoked. I think it looks really good. Looks a lot better than the other oil pan anyways. I fucked up real bad and like welded right through it and melted the bung and everything else. It was terrible. I need to be better. I need to learn more about welding. I'm just pretty shit at it. Let's see here. Got all the hoses ran. Right now what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna finish up on the hot side for the intercooler, so at least I'll have a whole unit. And this car is actually pretty much ready to be filled with oil, at least the break-in oil, so that, you know, I can catch all the little metal pieces and everything that I didn't get right on the first try. So I'm pretty excited. All right, so progress is definitely being made. Again, with that oil bung. So I tried to weld it in, and it ended up like melting, even though, because I guess the oil pan was a thicker metal than the bung, so even though the weld was good on the actual oil pan, the bung melted off and half of it stayed on the old oil pan and then the other half fell off. So I tried to grind that down to reuse that same oil pan, and it didn't look good. So I just ended up buying that new oil pan, and I threaded that fitting, which I believe is some kind of heater hose fitting. I don't know, I saw it at the auto parts store and it worked. So I ended up threading that into the new oil pan, drilled it out same exact way, threaded that into the new oil pan, and then I put a nut on the other side of it with 2 gaskets and a ton of thread sealer, and I tightened that thing down really, really hard. I don't think I'm going to have any issues with oil leak or anything like that. So as far as that goes, it's all set to go. So oil feed, oil return on the turbo is good to go. I did manage to finish the hot side of the intercooler piping, but I didn't film it because it was getting dark. So that's going to be it for today. Making some progress. The engine is just about ready to start, so I'm very excited to see if it starts. I still need to throw in that boost gauge and stuff like that to actually see if it's building boost, and I need to get my programmer, which is expensive, so I need to save up a little bit for that. But that's going to be it for today. Thank you so much for watching, and make sure you like, subscribe. Have a rad day.